Hello everyone, welcome to our lecture which is about the form and types of sentence. So basically there are form and types of sentence such as simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. So what is simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence that has only one finite verb. And what is finite verb, everyone? Finite verb is any verb that always agree with its subject in both present and number. For example, John lives in Kanda province. You see, live here is the singular verb, and John here is the singular noun. So, singular verb, singular noun agree with singular verb. Note. So, non-finite verbs take three different forms, including the infinitive, the participle, and gerund. So when you see infinitive, participle, or gerund, so they are not finite verbs. They are non-finite verbs. So it means that they don't agree with the subject. And now let's move to the second type of the sentence. We have compound sentence. What is compound sentence, everyone? A compound sentence is a sentence that has two or more simple sentences joined together by a coordinating conjunction or fan voice that you have already learned, or conjunction separated by a comma or commas. So there we have two forms to form compound sentence, such as form number one, simple sentence, comma, fan voice plus simple sentence. You have to note that simple sentence equal independent clause, and independent clause equal main clause. So, now please take a look at example. Tim doesn't like to play football, nor does he enjoy the game. You see, from Tim to football, it's a simple sentence, or we call it's an independent clause, and joined together by comma. You see, and no here is a fan voice, and after that we have another simple sentence. Does he enjoy to play the game? So this sentence there are two simple sentences connected by a fan boy, no here, yes, and separated by a comma. So it is a compound sentence. When you see fan boys and separated by a comma here, it's a compound sentence. Make sure that two sentences join together. The next example is Mary went to work, but John went to the party, and I went home. So the sentence there are three simple sentences and joined together by two fan voices such as but and here and here, and it always separated by comma from a sentence to a sentence. And form number two, simple sentence, column, conjunctive adverb, comma plus simple sentence. For example, John tried really hard to study, semicolon, therefore, comma, he passed the exam easily. You see, from John tries really hard to study, here is a simple sentence, or we can call it an IDC. And here is a conjunctive adverb, therefore, and here is another sentence, we call it simple sentence as well. So two sentences joined together by semicolon and conjunctive adverb following by comma. The next example is Panyarik does everything for Lisa, However, she never put her eye on him. So it's the same as the example number 1. There are 2 simple sentences here, and we have conjunctive adverb as well. And now please take a look at complex sentence. What is complex sentence, everyone? A complex sentence is a sentence contains a main clause, or independent clause, yeah, and one or more subordinate clause or dependent clause. So subordinate clause mean dependent clause, main clause mean independent clause. Let's look at the form. So in the form of complex sentence, we have main clause plus subordinate clause, and we can change from subordinate clause to the beginning of the sentence, but you have to add comma. Subordinate clause, comma plus main clause. So in this sentence, we can scroll. For example, Jude loves his girlfriend because she is beautiful. So you see, from Jude to his girlfriend here is a main clause. So what is main clause, everyone? Main clause is a clause that have subject and predicate, and it can make complete sentence. So Jude loves his girlfriend. So it makes complete sentence by itself. But from because to beautiful here, you see, it's a subordinate clause. Why? Because subordinate clause here is a clause that contains subject and predicate aspect, but it cannot make complete sentence because she is beautiful. How can you understand? No. She said that she is still single while she has a lot of men texting with her. From she said here, it's a main clause and it can make complete sentence. She said, yeah. From that to single here, it's a subordinate clause, and from while to her here, it's also another subordinate clause. So in this sentence, there is one main clause and 2 subordinate clauses. Although I had reviewed a lot of lessons, so from although I had reviewed a lot of lessons here is a subordinate clause. Why? Because it cannot make complete sentence by itself. But when you use subordinate clause at the beginning of the sentence, please add comma at the end of the subordinate clause, and then you start with the main clause. I still failed the exam. So I still failed the exam here is the main clause. Why? Because it can make complete sentence by itself. The charming woman who is sitting over there is my girlfriend. So the charming woman. So the sentence is a bit complicated because from who to either we call it the adjective clause. Yeah. You have learned it already, right? So from who is sitting over there here is a subordinate clause. Here is a subordinate clause, and the rest, the charming woman, yeah, is my girlfriend. Here is the main clause. So in this sentence, subordinate clause is in the middle of the main clause. So the main clause here, the charming woman, is my girlfriend, and the subordinate clause here is who is sitting over there. So who is sitting over there? How can you understand this sentence? No, if you cannot understand, sorry, it's not sentence, clause. If you cannot understand the clause, so it means that it's a subordinate clause. So subordinate clause again, it cannot make complete sentence by itself. But for main clause, it can make complete sentence by itself. And normally we call it main clause means simple sentence. Yeah, simple sentence means independent clause. So they are the same, everyone. The coach asks his player if they are able to continue to play or not. So the coach asks his player here is a main clause, everyone. So when it's a main clause, it means that it can make complete sentence by itself. So without subordinate clause here, it still can make sense. So if we omit from east to north, and then we just keep only and then we just keep only the coic-acid player. Yeah, you can understand this sentence. The coic-acid players. Yeah, you can understand. When you can understand, it's easy to notice that it's a simple sentence. But what if you omit the main clause and then you just keep the subordinate clause? How can you understand if they are able to continue to play or not? You understand? Absolutely no. If we omit the main clause, it doesn't make sense. And the last one is a compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence is a bit complicated for you as well. So what is compound complex sentence? A compound complex sentence is a type of sentence which contains two main clauses and one or more subordinate clause. So compound complex sentence, remember there are two main clauses, or you have learned before, two independent clauses, and one or more subordinate clauses. So it means that it has more than one subordinate clauses, but it has only two main clauses in the compound complex sentence. Please take a look at example. She likes coffee, but I don't because it makes me sleepless. So sleepless here it means that you cannot sleep at the night time. She likes coffee. She likes coffee here is a main clause, and yeah. But I don't. So from I don't here is a main clause as well. So there are two main clauses here. And see, because it makes me sleepless. Because it makes me sleepless here is a subordinate clause. So this sentence contains two main clauses here. Here two main clauses. She likes coffee, but I don't. So two main clauses. And then the writer add because it makes me sleepless. So the writers add subordinate clause to the sentence. So yeah, here when you see two main clauses, and one or more subordinate clause is a compound complex sentence, everyone. Even when you do writing as well, when you do, please think about the type of sentence. The next sentence, the last sentence, which is the last sentence for us as well. They want to have a good job, but they don't try studying, which makes them to succeed. So they want to have a good job here is a main clause, and they don't try studying here is also a main clause. So there are two main clauses here, and which make them succeed. So here is a one subordinate clause. Remember there are also a lot of sentences that containing two main clauses and one more than one subordinate clauses as well. And here's the last note for you. It's about simple sentence mean main clause mean independent clause. Subordinate clause mean dependent clause. So stop confusing everyone. When you see simple sentence, so it means main clause as well. When you see main clause, it means independent clause as well. Please keep it in your mind. So some teacher or some book teach you that some teacher or some book teach you main clause, and some teach you about independent clause. So they are the same. Yeah. So that's all for this recording lecture. Thank you everyone for listening and paying attention. Please watch the video until the end. If you have any question, please raise your question when we meet in the class.